What's going on, Slay Babes? It's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm just going to be sitting down and playing with a bunch of new beauty products. Mind you, I haven't worn makeup in about 4 to 5 days because my skin has been breaking out like crazy. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I really don't. I wish it would stop, but you know what? Shit happens, you move on and you get past it, and that's exactly what I'm doing in today's video. I did pick up the brand new Neon Obsessions palettes. I picked up the orange one and the pink one. I did use the orange one in today's video, and I will definitely say I am so obsessed with the way that this look came out, and I cannot wait to share with you the steps I took to get this final result here. I did have some mishaps though, so you're definitely gonna want to watch the video to see what worked, what didn't work, yada 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 yada. But all in all, I'm really excited for you guys to see my thoughts on each and every single product I use in today's video. So subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, click that bell so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 times a week, every single week. I know, I haven't been saying it in my videos. You guys missed it. I had to throw it back one time for the one time. With that, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. So I have you guys zoomed in super up close per usual. You guys know I like to bring you in just so that we can get a feel for blending and things like that. Today, I really want to start off with eyeshadow. Now, forgive me, I haven't worn makeup in about 3 to 4 days because my skin literally went crazy on me. I was breaking out here, I was breaking out there, and it was just a hot mess. So I definitely needed to give my skin time to breathe, which is why I did upload that What I Eat in a Day video. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. And honestly, if you want to see more videos like that on my channel, let me know because I would love to keep doing them. Me and Babito were actually talking about just doing those kind of videos on our vlog channel and just kind of vlogging here and there. So that's definitely a thought, just a thought. Not a concept yet because we haven't put it into motion, but I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. But for eyeshadow today, I will be using the Huda Beauty Neon Eyeshadow Palette. I have 2 right here. I have the pink one and then I also have the orange one. I'm just going to show you what they look like. I did go into my Sephora because I was dying to get my hands on these when I saw Trend Mood post about them. So this one right here is called Neon Pink Obsessions, and when you open it up, it has so many gorgeous pink and purple shades. I haven't done a pink and purple look in a while, so I'm really thinking I want to use this. And then I also picked up the Neon Orange Obsessions palette, which is right up my alley. I'm really thinking I want to use this, but again, orange, it's warm, and you guys know I always gravitate more towards warm looks, but it also has that really fun pop of green and also yellow right here. You guys can't tell me that these palettes are not stellar, super cute. Love, in it. So excited to try these out. So the first thing I'm going to do, as you guys know, I am going to prime my eyelids with a little bit of my Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. This is just what I use. Use whatever it is that you guys want. And to apply the primer, I will be using the Blurring Concealer Brush by Smashbox. I really love this brush for concealer and also just priming my eyelids. So before jumping into those eyeshadow palettes, I am just going to take a face powder. This one is the Accomplice Instant Blurring Powder by Marc Jacobs. And I'm just going to rock this right here into my socket to act as a really nice base color before I go in with my transition shade. And this is just really going to help with the overall blending and just making sure that the eyeshadows don't skip or tug or get patchy in any way. So I've decided the palette I'm mainly going to use today is the Neon Orange Obsessions. I know, don't kill me, but I will be doing an exclusive Instagram TV video using this palette right here. So make sure you guys follow me over on the gram because I have been posting more exclusive videos on my Instagram, videos that just don't pop up here on my YouTube. So check that out. The first shade I'm going to take is this shade right here, and I am going to use that as my transition color, and I'm going to wipe it back and forth in my socket. By the way, this is actually my first time ever using these Huda Beauty little mini palettes. I've used her other palettes before, but I've never tried any of the Obsessions palettes, so I'm very interested in seeing if in fact it is the same quality of product. But so far, I'm really liking how that's turning out. It's just a very nice flush wash of orange in the crease, but it's not orange, if you get me. So I like it. So far, so good. Next shade I'm going to take is that yellow right there in the very upper corner, and I'm going to just toss this right in my crease just to kind of change up like the color a little bit. Like just wash some yellow in there as well. So the next shade I'm gonna take is the shade right here, and I'm gonna take it on an M507, and I'm gonna start packing it right here on the outer V. Ooh, you guys, look how pretty that color is. That is gorgeous. Like these are really, really pigmented. Upon like first application, I'm just taking my brush and really just like tapping it. By the way, today's Father's Day. We're not taking my dad out. I actually asked him if he wanted to go to breakfast. He was like, nah, not my thing, not my stilo. So we're gonna go over to his house and he's just going to barbecue a couple things. And then we are going to take Ulises' dad out to dinner at a place called Flamestone. If you guys live in like my area, let me know if you have ever tried Flamestone and what you think about it. They love, love, love going there. I'm switching brushes to an M441 and I'm repacking on the color, and then I'm gonna start like buffing it in the crease a little bit, but not above like that yellow or orange we already put there. So one thing I did notice with these shadows is once I started to pack on like that very like pinkish orange shade right here on the very outer V and started blending it, it kind of just like disappeared, and it's very hard for the product to stick in the area I place it. And that could have to do with the fact that I did set down the crease area with a little bit of shadow, and I didn't just go straight in with the color, so it doesn't really have anything to stick to. But I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm gonna use this to cut my crease super quick, very, very light, just to kind of get a general outline of where I wanna put my shimmer shade on my eyelid. So unfortunately my camera did completely cut out on me after I finished cutting the crease on this eye, but what I did is I just popped some shimmers on the lid. I use this shade and also this shade right here, so I'm just going to show you guys exactly what I did. Now I do find that these shimmers go on a lot better with your fingers, so I'm just going to kind of tap it right here on the center, and as you can see it's really standing out, and that sticky base really just makes it pop a little bit more. So the next shade I'm going to take is like this neon green yellow, and I am going to take it on a brush, and I'm going to place it right here where there is absolutely no shimmer product. As you can see, it's exactly what I did over here, and I feel like it just adds a nice touch to the overall look as opposed to just having one shade all over the lid, if you guys get me. I am going to spritz the brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I'm just going to go ahead and tap it on. For someone who doesn't play with color often, honestly, I'm impressed. Like, I really, really do love the vibe this is giving off. But anyways, I'm going to go in with this magenta shade right here on an M507. And I'm just going to use this to deepen up the crease area and just add more of like a berry tone to the look. And I'm just going to lightly flick it inwards. I'm now gonna go in with this little pink shimmer shade right here, and I'm just gonna tap it right in the center just to blend it a little bit better with the pink I put in the very outer V area. So for the most part, eyeshadow is done. I honestly really am feeling the way it's turning out. I do want to do like more added color, and I want to add like a colored liner. I have these from ColourPop. This one is in the shade Boots, and then I also have this one in the shade Piggy Bank. I may do Boots in the very inner part, and then I may gradate it into Piggy Bank. I know a little bit extra, but why not? Like, this is supposed to be a fun look, and honestly, makeup's supposed to be really fun. It's all about stepping outside of your comfort zone, because at the end of the day, it washes off. Like, no big deal. Like, if you don't like it, just wash your face, or if you don't like it, you definitely don't have to repeat these steps. Definitely customize it based on what it is that you like. So again, I am going to take the shade called Boots. This looks like more of a baby pink. Hopefully it works out, and the brush I'm using is just an angled liner brush. Then going into the shade Piggy Bank, I'm just going to apply this to the very outer part to kind of just like wing it out. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the pink and just blend the two lines together. So the look, it definitely took a turn. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in with a little bit of black eyeliner. This is just the IT Cosmetics Superhero eyeliner. And I'm going to go directly over all of that pink and purple gel eyeliner because I'm not really feeling the vibe. And I think I need to tone it down a little bit. Now that liner is done, I am going to go in with some lashes. I will be using these by Blinking Beauty. This is the Samantha lash. When you pop them open, this is what they look like. They're very, very like fluttery. They flick at the ends, which is definitely like my style of a lash. Like I love this in a good lash. So I'm going to pop these on and then I will be right back. So now that I have on my falsies, I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara to the base of my lash. This one is the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. It's not a new one because I did just get rid of a bunch of mascaras in my makeup collection because they were all unopened and they had been sitting for a while, and I'm just trying to get better at using up my mascaras before I open up new ones. So I like to just push this towards the base of the lash just to blend my lashes in with the false lashes. And I think they're looking pretty good. Okay, so now that my eyes are like halfway done, let's move on to the face. I am going to start off with primer, and today I will be using a brand new primer. This one is by It Cosmetics. It says Your Skin But Better Primer. It's oil free. It also says it's a makeup gripping base that is a pore refiner and hydrator. I was actually reading the ingredients on the side and it says it has glycerin in it, which is really awesome because glycerin really allows products to stick together. So I feel like if I put this on, like my foundation, it's not going to budge at all, but we're definitely going to put that to the test today. This is what the product looks like in the tube. It is a very sleek packaging. I like it, and it is a squeeze out tube. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand. This is what the formula looks like. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And I'm just going to kind of put this all over. Honestly, this feels really, really good on the skin. I'm also going to touch a little bit of it onto my forehead because I want it to really allow the product to stick to the skin. And as you can see, all of my blemishes, they're out in the open. Like I had to conceal these, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, that my skin was like going completely crazy. Like my skin was not having it these past couple days, and I am noticing right now the primer is getting a little bit tacky on the skin, which is nice. Now that I look crusted and busted, let's go ahead and cover up some of these blemishes with a little bit of color corrector and foundation. The color corrector I'm using is by Pixi. You guys know I love this stuff. It's really, really awesome because it's not like too orange. I can't get down with like a really orange color corrector. I feel like it's so difficult to cover it up, which is why I really like this one because it definitely is a light peach, but it still does a really, really good job at getting rid of my dark circles. I also take a little bit of this alongside my mouth. For foundation today, I actually have a sample of a Dior foundation. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation in the shade 2N. And the reason I have a sample is because I've gotten into the habit of getting samples of foundations and trying them out before I actually buy them, because oftentimes I'll buy the foundation, try it out, don't like it, and have to take back the whole bottle. So to prevent that, I do pick up samples of foundations that I want to try. So I will have a picture of the bottle on the screen right here in case you guys are interested in what that looks like. I don't have much in here though because this color was like completely gone in the tester. So I'm going to do my best. I am going to take a little brush like this and then just kind of work it onto my skin. Okay, so now that I look really crazy and I have a bunch of like foundation marks all over my face, I'm gonna start buffing it out. Now you can use a sponge, you can use a brush. Today I want to try this brush out. This is the buffing brush from the brand MASQD. I did pick this up at Walgreens. It was Walgreens, or was it CVS? I think it was Walgreens, and I was very interested because I don't try out like affordable brush options often on my channel, so I wanted to give this a go and see what it was all about. So this right here is what the brush looks like. Honestly, it looks like it's gonna do a pretty decent job. So I'm just gonna go in small circular motions. And I'm also going to just press it into the skin. So I think it's doing a pretty good job at buffing out the foundation. And I'm getting pretty decent coverage with the foundation as well. I definitely feel like I'll have to go in with an additional layer just to build it up to my personal preference. When I saw like skin glow, I immediately thought like skin tint. But a friend of mine who works in Ulta told me that this was a full coverage, like glowing foundation. So I was like, you know what? This might be really, really pretty for summer. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of the product to just build it up in the areas that I feel like need a little bit more coverage. So this right here is what my skin is looking like after 2 layers of that foundation. I think it looks decent. I could definitely feel the foundation on my skin. Like, it feels a little heavy, but I am going to continue on with my concealer and stuff just to see how it goes. I also feel like the color is slightly off. Like, this definitely pulls more neutral, and I feel like I have more yellow, like especially like in my neck area, but I'm hoping once I apply my powder and stuff like that, everything will kind of just blend together. For concealer, I will be using a mixture between the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Concealer and also the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer, and this one is just in the shade Cotton Candy. Again, I definitely don't feel like this foundation is the best match for me, but I'm gonna try to really make it work with like a darker powder and some bronzer. I'm gonna set underneath the eyes. I'm gonna use this by Huda Beauty. I've used this once before. This is in the shade Banana Bread, and I really wanted to revisit this powder because the last time I used it, I was having a bunch of issues and I didn't know if it was a foundation or the primer or the concealer, and that's a downside to just doing like a full face of first impressions. You really don't know what's the cause of like something not working out. So I'm gonna revisit this, and I'm just gonna press it right here to set that under eye concealer down and in place. I'm also gonna use this powder to set my chin area. And the powder I'm going to use to set the rest of my face is this one right here by MAC. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Plus. And I'm just going to kind of put this all over, which kind of defeats the purpose of me wearing a glowing foundation. But since it didn't match me, I kind of needed to combat all of the lightness that my face was experiencing and put on a little bit of a deeper powder to kind of just balance things out. I'm sorry. I would have tested this foundation out for how well it looks like glowy and dewy, but it was just way too light for me, and I am going out in a little bit, so I'll kind of melt down the powders with some Fix Plus at the end and then let you guys know how the overall foundation wore throughout the day. Now, to add a little bit more warmth back to my skin, I will be using the Lion King 6-piece sculpting palette in the shade Kingdom, and this is by the brand Luminous. I've never tried anything from the brand, but it is a collaboration with Sir John, and it is a limited edition collection. Honestly, this might be really good for like a nose contour, but I'm going to use this shade right here to add some warmth and bronze up my skin a little bit because, like I said, I was feeling a little ghostly and a little pale. This shade right here is called Marula. And you guys know I have to do a little snatcheroo to the nose. Honestly, my skin's just been going through it. I have like a little scab right here that I'm trying not to mess with when applying the bronzer. It's been one of those weeks and months with my skin. I feel like it's always like a constant battle. And I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people out there do struggle with their skin, but it's just a lot different when you have to sit on camera and just show all of your imperfections and acne and things like that. It's almost a little bit nerve-wracking for me. I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder and I'm gonna put it like right alongside my nose just to chisel it out a little and just really help blend these lines because sometimes they can get super stark and harsh, and that's not what I want. Also, just going to take a little bit of this powder right here. I will say that the bronzer within that bronzing palette, it's not too bad. Honestly, I feel like it looks really, really nice with my skin, and it's not too harsh. It's definitely a buildable formula, and I'm really excited to kind of like play around with this a little bit more because I can't say how I feel about this for sure until I use it like a couple more times. You guys already know. I do have some Kylie products to try out in today's video. I picked up a blush, bronzer, and a highlight. Obviously, I'm not going to use the bronzer because I did use the Luminous bronzer palette, but I will be using the blush. I have the Pressed Powder Blush in the shade We Are Going Shopping, and this is like right up my alley. This is definitely a blush I would typically gravitate towards, which is why I did pick it up. I am going to apply the blush with this brush right here. This is a sheer powder by Smashbox. You guys always ask me what this brush is, and it's one of my personal favorites just because of the way it's shaped. Like, I feel like it really like diffuses out my blush very, very nicely. Ooh, that's a really pretty blush. Okay, Kylie. I see you, girl. And when I'm applying blush, I like to do like a little and just hit it right here on the apples of my cheeks. You can't tell me that that is not a pretty blush shade. Like, what? Definitely got a little overboard with the blush, but I like the formula of this. I feel like it's very buildable. It's not too intense to the point where you put it on, you're just like, holy blush. Like, you definitely have to apply on a little bit more and a little bit more to really build it up to be this intense, but I'm not mad at it. I really love the color, and I definitely want to try out some more of her blush shades. I also picked out a highlighter. Now, I've heard in the past that her highlighters aren't super like blinding at first. It's a very like subtle highlighter, which is something I've been really trying to get into because, like I said, you don't need to look like a glazed donut all the time. You get me? So I wanted to try this out because I have heard that they're really pretty, but they're not like too blinding. So I'm going to take a highlighter brush, kind of just apply it right here. You know what? I'm gonna switch brushes. I'm gonna use this one by ABH. This is a A23. Yeah, so I can definitely agree with the fact that I feel like it is a very subtle highlighter. Like, I feel like for me, this would be more like an everyday highlighter because I don't want to be like too blinding all the time. I went out recently and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, holy highlighter, like you have a lot of fucking highlight on. And I was like borderline embarrassed and I was like, you need to go home and like wash your face. And I was like walking all around the world that day and I just couldn't believe that I got so heavy-handed with my highlighter that day. So I've been really trying my best to just be a little bit more light-handed and just apply a little bit, something that's going to give me more like a skin light glow than anything. But I think that's really pretty. I'm just gonna dust off the bake on my nose. I'm gonna dip my finger a little bit into the highlight and just pop it onto the tip of my nose in the bridge, just ever so lightly. I'm just going to spray my face with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus just to kind of melt down all of those powders and give it more of a skin-like appearance. And while I wait for that to fully set down, I am going to go in with a little bit of the Glossier Boy Brow Gel, and I'm just going to comb this through the brows like so to give it more of like a piecey look. I don't know what it is, but I've been loving the way my brows look when I do them this way. If you guys want like a feathered brow tutorial, I can do that. I can do that on Instagram TV. I could do whatever it is that you guys want. So let's actually work on the very lower lash line. I'm gonna go right back into the Neon Orange Obsessions palette with a flat definer brush. I'm just going to lightly press this shade right here closest to my lash line, just to kind of connect everything together. And with an M507, I'm going to pick up a little bit of this peach shade here, and I'm going to use that to really just diffuse out this edge and make it a little bit more sultry and smoky. All right, and then with like a flat definer brush like this, I'm going to pick up that magenta shade and I'm going to stick this very, very close to the very outer edge of the lash line. And this is just going to kind of, you know, add some of that color, like that pinky color to the outer V. So the look, it's already looking really, really good, but I want to like set it off with this color right here in the very inner corner. So I'm going to take a small pencil brush and I am going to spritz my brush with some Fix Plus just to really get it to adhere to the very inner corner. And I'm just going to kind of like And for my waterline, I will be using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner. This one is in the shade Crossed. And you guys know how I feel about applying like a colored liner in this area. I feel like it really just, you know, sets things off. So we're just gonna go back and forth. Oh, girl. If this isn't a neon look, I don't know what is. Eyeliner drop. Okay, let's jump into the lip color. This is the last and final thing I have to do before I finish off this look. This is the Kylie Jenner Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade Commando. Now, I have tried her original formula, which is the regular liquid lipstick, and I found that to be super over drying. And that was honestly one of the last products I have ever tried from her brand. So I'm excited to give this a whirl. I did hear that this is a little bit more of a comfortable formula, and I feel like this color should go very well with this overall look. Let me just say, I do really, really like this color on the lips. Like, it is so freaking pretty, and I feel like it goes with the overall look very, very well. I'm definitely gonna keep this with me throughout the day just so that way I can touch up and give you guys my honest thoughts towards the end of the day and let you guys know how I truly feel about this lipstick. So with that, I'm gonna pop on my earrings. I'm going to change. I'm gonna go out with my dad, and we're also gonna go out with Bobito's dad later. So I'm gonna do that, and I will touch base with you guys at the end of the night to let you guys know how my makeup held up throughout the day. I went ahead and zoomed you in super up close and personal, just so that way you can kind of get a feel for my foundation and how it wore throughout the day. I will definitely say that there is some obvious wear right here where my smile lines are. I feel like it's kind of creasing in that area. I'm not entirely sure how well you can see it with all of the studio lights, but it's something I can see when I look super up close and personal in this little handheld mirror right here. I also feel like it's a little bit greasy and heavy. Like I'm feeling it all in this area, and it's definitely not a comfortable feeling, but all in all, the coverage is really, really good. Do you see my skin right now? It looks flawless. Also, don't mind the crust on my lip. Hello, I just noticed that. For eyeshadow, I am high-key obsessed with the Neon Orange Obsessions palette by Huda Beauty. This palette is on a whole nother level. I really like it. If you guys are interested in experimenting with color, I feel like this is a really, really pretty color story. Again, if you guys want to see me experiment with the Pink Obsessions palette, follow me over on the gram. I will be filming a dedicated video on my IGTV, and you guys don't want to miss it. And that is pretty much it, Slay Baes. I hope you guys really appreciated this video. I hope you loved it. And if you guys loved it, of course, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so that way you are notified anytime I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you, and I will talk to you guys all very, very soon. Deuces.